Okay, I hit the record button. We're going to do something a little different today. I'm just going to put this video out and do it off the cuff. This was actually recommended to me by a client of mine. So thank you very much for giving me some advice. Even though I work as a coach, it's always great to talk to other people and get their insights because as a community, I think it's really good to be able to work together. So I haven't posted a video in, I think it's been about a week. Maybe it's a little over a week. I'm not exactly sure. I haven't checked. I have done a live stream on Sunday. I did a live stream for my autophagy group yesterday. So it's not like I've gone and disappeared. I'm still doing my coaching sessions. I'm still going for my walks. I'm still fasting. I'm doing everything I need to do. Yet, I feel like I'm struggling. And it isn't that I've fallen off the wagon because it's far from it. If I were to let you know where I'm at fasting wise, sorry, I'm trying to get the app to show me. I'm currently 43 hours and 6 minutes fasted. So it's not like I'm having an issue with fasting. Yes, earlier this week, I was aiming for a 65-hour fast and I was unable to do it. I ended up doing, I believe it was somewhere around 40 hours. And then the day after, I did a 20-hour fast. So my normal 65-hour fasts haven't been as regular as they used to. 65-hour fasts are what I wanted to do after coming back from my vacation where I took pretty much a month off. It's been about 2 weeks since I came back from vacation. And in those 2 weeks, for the probably first 10 days, jet lag was pretty bad. I couldn't get proper sleep. I was waking up in the middle of the night, and then I would be up for like 4 or 5 hours, and then I would be dozing off throughout the day. So kind of really threw me off there. Now, the last couple of days, I've been better. But in a weird way, even though I'm fasting and I'm going for my walks and I'm lifting weights, I feel like I'm not doing enough. And I can't really pinpoint why. There are probably a number of reasons there. Maybe it's the psychological part of me. Maybe there are things I'm noticing about myself. Well, there are absolutely things I am noticing about myself, but I want to be able to share some of that with you today. Maybe it might be helpful for you. If you're watching this, maybe you can relate in that form or fashion. So maybe the first thing to kind of discuss here is the reason I want to talk about this is it's just a way for me to vent. When I do my live streams, when I make my videos, it's a way for me to be accountable. It's a way to help me to stop walking away from doing the things that I'm supposed to be doing. It helps me make sure that I don't run away from my problems or I don't keep things a secret, because that is where, at least for me, where I start to slip. And once I slip, it's very hard for me to get back up. Now, having layers of accountability, posting videos, holding live streams, having coaching sessions, hitting my timer, logging my spreadsheet, and even having a spreadsheet that others are able to take a look at in real time, those are a lot of layers of accountability for me. I have all of those things in place because it helps me to make sure that I do not completely walk away from what I'm doing. I can't explain why I didn't do a 65-hour fast earlier this week. I had a lot of food noise that kind of came from nowhere. I don't know if it was because of my jet lag. I don't know if just not sleeping properly caused that, but I know one thing's for sure. With my jet lag, when I wasn't sleeping well and I was dozing on and off throughout the day, it also really affected my workouts. My walks didn't feel as good. I was tired. My lifts going to the gym were not, well, that's even, there's more to it than that. So obviously, my lifting at the gym hasn't been the greatest because my sleep hasn't been the greatest. But if you've seen my videos earlier or my live streams, I've talked about my bicep and how it's been messed up. And because it hurts pretty much to lift weights, it's making it very hard for me to do a lot of the exercises I've been doing in the past. I have been paying more attention to doing other kinds of workouts, whether it's doing squats, like working my legs more, working my core more, doing things to avoid my bicep is, I guess, the alternative for now. But it also doesn't, in a weird way, not being able to use my bicep, it's making me say, well, what's the point of doing this anyway? Right? It's my old habits kicking in. It's my brain telling myself that it's not good enough, so why do it at all? Even though I'm not doing it, right? I'm still going to the gym. Actually, as I'm talking to you right now, I went to the gym upstairs in my apartment and I lifted weights because I knew I had to do something. Because doing something is better than doing nothing at all. Imperfect consistency, right? Even though I was planning for a 65-hour fast and I only did a 40 or 41-hour fast, that's fine. I still tried to eat as well as I could. And I mean, big win for me in a lot of these respects is I didn't binge, right? My binge-free experience or my binge-free streak is still continuing. But even when I broke at the 40-some hour mark and felt a bit of failure, a bit of guilt, I reminded myself to still eat as healthily as I could. And I did that. Even though I felt lazy to cook or prep food, I ended up buying lightly breaded white meat chicken. And I bought vegetables that I just microwaved in the microwave and just seasoned it and ate that. I didn't buy pie. I ended up buying Greek yogurt and adding protein powder, putting granola in for a bit of crunch. And even though it wasn't the completely healthiest thing, because I also added peanut butter, it was better than just eating a bunch of candy. Even though I did later at the end of my refeed, I had some Japanese candy that I still have stashed here, and I kept it moving. The next day, I refed again after a 20-hour fast, and that was more of a complete cooked, prepped meal for me. And since then, I'm 40-some hours fasted. Also, I know I'm probably babbling all over the place, so I apologize, and hopefully this conversation is still a little coherent. But one of the reasons, like I said, I'm doing this is because I need to be transparent about what I'm doing and hold myself accountable. So it's not like I've gone completely off the deep end. And you might be asking yourself, well, okay, Jerome, you're fasting. You're still making good choices when you're eating. You're still going for your walks. You're still lifting weights. What's the problem? I don't know about any of you who are watching this, but for me, I feel like it's not enough. I don't know if this is the all or nothing part of me. And even though I pretty much regurgitate the same advice and remind all of you to practice imperfect consistency and not everything has to be perfect, there's a part of me that feels like I'm not doing enough. My bicep is messed up, so I'm not lifting heavy enough. I'm not sleeping well, so my walks aren't the greatest. I said I was going to track everything I ate to hold myself more accountable, and I didn't do that on my last 2 refeeds. Maybe the light at the end of the tunnel here is saying, even though you didn't do these things, you are still doing what you can. And I take that as a big W. I guess the other side of this that I'm noticing about myself is I'm no longer resorting to food as my answer, as my coping mechanism. Many of us, we fall into that category where if the day doesn't go according to plan, food is the answer. If we can think of any reason to break our fast, we will do so because it's a habitual thing. It's something that we've done for years, or like me, decades, where we use food as our coping mechanism and we use it for any excuse in our lives. I thought about this, and I've been thinking about this for a while, but let's say I'm fasting for 18, 19, 20 hours. And back in the day, if I was doing something like that, it was like I was waiting for any excuse, anything to happen in my life to get me to stop fasting so I could eat. It's as if I wanted to fail so that I could eat. And it's weird to think about that because that isn't how I deal with things today. I have said this story to so many people lately, but if somebody were to barge into my apartment right now and give me the worst news possible, back in the day, I would have said, well, perfect reason to eat because my day is shot. I got the worst news ever, so what's the point? Today, if somebody were to do that, I would probably be devastated with whatever that worst news would be, but my brain doesn't go to food anymore. The difference between then and now, the only thing I can think of is that habit, that brain, that part in my brain that is just used to doing that, it's no longer there. Sure, I have thoughts of eating. Sure, I have thoughts of, like, I have food noise that actually was bad earlier this week. But for the most part, it's far and few between at this point. I guess I haven't gotten to the point of why am I still here then? And why am I making this video? And what is this video about? Part of it is the reason that I haven't put a video out in a week. Usually in a week's time, not only do I put a video out on YouTube on top of my live streams, on top of my coaching sessions, on top of doing work for my other clients, but I'm also putting a short, like a reel, a TikTok out, and I haven't done any of that. And the one thing I've noticed is my productivity, even though it sounds like I'm very busy, and in fact I am, I have noticed that instead of using food as my coping mechanism, I'm finding myself procrastinating. I'm finding myself laying on this couch and watching TV or a YouTube video, or just laying on the couch doom scrolling on my phone. I wouldn't have gotten to this point if I didn't break my issues with food. Not that my issues with food are completely resolved either, right? But I've noticed a bad habit of using food has now moved over into the bad habit of procrastinating because I either feel overwhelmed, I feel like I've done enough for the day, when in fact, there's some days where I know that I shouldn't be laying on the couch for an hour in between my coaching sessions when I should be working instead. You might be saying to yourself, Jerome, you're being too hard on yourself, but you all know I've put merch out, or I've created merch, right? I'm wearing merch right now that I created, I think, over half a year ago, and I still don't have the website up for it. The website hasn't been done. The app that I've been talking about isn't out yet. There are so many other things that I should be and could be doing, and I'm not doing that. And I'm trying to figure out if what I'm doing right now is enough or if I should be pushing more. And my fear is, like I said, I'm using procrastination instead of food. But I'm also wondering if I'm pushing myself too much to the point that if I push myself too hard, I'm going to burn out and then I'm going to start doing all the bad things that I've done before. And I really don't think I'm going to find myself there. This is just me kind of talking out loud and figuring out what my next steps are here. Like I said, I had a session with someone earlier today and they had really great advice and said, just put something out. And that's exactly what I'm doing. And in a lot of ways, if you think about imperfect consistency, you can apply this to many other parts of your life. It doesn't just have to be with the way you fast. It can be with the way you eat, the way you exercise, the way you do things in life. And that's kind of where I'm finding myself right now. I know this video is not typically what I put out. I feel like it's all over the place. But even just talking right now is making me feel better, knowing that instead of laying on the couch and letting another day pass by, I'm actively doing something. I'm facing my fears of not putting out quality content and saying, just put it out, just do something. And I know I have to take this approach with all of the other things, like the website I'm talking about, with the merch that I have that I've been meaning to sell, with the app I'm working on. Sometimes what happens to me is I freeze in the moment. I feel very overwhelmed, and back in the day, feeling very overwhelmed meant don't think about anything today, just eat. Eat and turn on the TV and make a mess and don't exercise. Because you know what? You can start tomorrow. You can wait till Monday. It's really interesting to see my evolution of what I'm doing and who I am as a person. Sometimes I see people in the comments who think they know what I should do and what I'm doing to myself is awful, when in fact they don't understand that where I'm at today is leaps and bounds better than where I was before. And the only reason that I'm in this place today versus where I used to be is because I show up every day. And I am trying to be a better, not even a better person, because I know I'm a good person, but I'm talking about a healthier and happier version of me, right? That is always the end game here. I don't know if I have anything else to really talk about other than to vent those frustrations, knowing that I have a lot to do. And sometimes being overwhelmed has put me in this place of, I guess, freezing in the moment. The big thing about where I'm at today is I know I'm not using food to cope, but that I'm still doing other things for myself, like going to the gym and working out and making sure that I'm still making good choices in the foods that I eat, or at least better choices, that I'm not completely going off the rails. For me, I need to remember that's still a win and that I can keep moving on. I think that's it. I just wanted to give you all an update with what I'm doing. Currently, I'm 40 something hours fasted. My plan is to break tomorrow at the 65-hour mark. And then I think I'm going to just keep pushing 65s indefinitely until I hit my goal. Well, let's just put a milestone, right? I want to get into the 130s. That's where I want to get. Actually, 135 would probably be good at where I want to be right now. I know I have to lean out. I'm currently sitting somewhere in the high 140s, low 150s. I think this morning I was somewhere at like 153 or 154. It's not where I want to be. But I know that if I do 65s indefinitely, I will find myself in the 130s. And let's just say in that time, I will continue working on the way I eat. I want to start implementing different ways that I eat, practicing something like keto or even doing carnivore every now and then, and actually posting results for that. And that's something that I've been meaning to do and I haven't. And it's not like I'm going to be doing any of those things forever either, but it's something that I would like to implement. But if I were to do something like carnivore, I don't want to do carnivore and then do a 65-hour fast. If I did carnivore, I'd do something like a 42-hour fast and then do carnivore for the week or something. I need to put something out. I need to try other things. I guess this is another thing to talk about here too, is to remember, right, that you can do I know that if I did 65s, I'd be fine. I get myself back down, but I need to start doing other things outside of just fasting for long periods of time. And I know I have, and I know things have gotten better, right? Because look at what's happened over time. It went from 90, 120, 160-hour fasts to 65s to going on vacation. I mean, if you look at my last 3 months or so, my fasts are so much less than what they used to be. So there has been an evolution because even though I'm not at 130, whatever right now, I'm still, for the most part, maintaining my weight. Yes, I've put on weight because of my 27 days of eating, but that still shows for me, right? If I had done 27 days of eating in the past, there is no way I would have been able to keep my weight at where it's currently at, even 2 weeks after eating 27 days in a row. Usually things go completely crazy and the weight would be piling on and you would have never heard from me again. So again, a win here. Okay, I'm all over the place. I probably have more that I should have said, but it is what it is. I don't even know what I'm going to title this video. Maybe that, I don't know. It's fine. I'm just going to go upload this and it's out there because I just have to be honest about what I'm doing. Hopefully, if you're watching this, you got some insights out of it. And even if you didn't, I feel better at least sharing how I'm feeling. So, all right, I'm out of here.